your Nintendo Switch. Alright. So we are in losers finals.
Are you prepared?
Pink, your adoring fans are going wild.
Leave it to me.
What if Dusty versus Mitsu? I don't know. What if? Now making a bit of a bulky GTR. Open on either side. Finishing up at GTR in the beginning.
Now then. How interesting. Beautiful. Gorgeous.
Alright, so we're getting full main chain from Mal. It's a 9. Unfortunately, those reds don't quite connect. I cheer for my Puyo rivals.
Gravity was my ally.
As you should! I was trying to think of something like there's like a friends don't let friends do blah blah blah, but it's like sworn enemies don't let sworn enemies, you know?
Now then.
Something like that. Just pretend that I said that.
How interesting. Beautiful. Gorgeous.
I wish I had a consistent rival. Yeah, me too.
No! No! Someone owes me an apology.
Gravity was my ally.
Unfortunately, I have an avoidant personality. If I were like typing that, I would write, I have a, in quotation marks, avoidant personality, which I am working through with my, in quotation marks, therapist. That's how I would phrase that.
Now then.
Here it comes.
And by my therapist, I mean my licensed clinical social worker.
Gorgeous. Magnificent. Right back at you. Dazzling.
Right, the 7 chain versus the 5.
Now then. How interesting.
I hope someone doesn't have an actual Puyo enemy.
Gravity was my ally.
I'm gonna hope that we all move past the enemy phase when Wembo finally played Puyo. That's gonna be my bit on it. No more Puyo enemies. No more Puyo mortal foes. Just rivals.
Now then.
A friendly rivalry. Yeah.
Now then. How interesting.
Okay, Mal's going a little crazy with these harassments.
Here it comes.
Now then. How interesting. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Magnificent. Exquisite.
I think that purple's just a little bit too far to the right for it to connect to the rest of the chain.
Someone owes me an apology.
Wumbo does Hellfire chains now, so? Oh, terrible news for me, specifically! Oh! We need more Puyo rivals. I would like to see a Puyo Renaissance.
Now then.
That one, like, year of Puyo that I had in my personal server was, like, great. He does it very well, give him that.
Now then.
That's the worst kind!
Gorgeous. Magnificent. Exquisite.
Okay, 6 from Mal, but Pink's built it up pretty high. I don't think those purples are gonna connect into a tail, so it's not necessarily, it's not gonna make the 7 that she needs in order to counter that.
Someone owes me an apology.
Gravity was my ally.
What if Puyo was paid to win? You could pay like 50 cents to get the shapes in a preferential color. Is this a safe space? Cause I have a hot take!
then. Now then.
See, the thing that gets me about Hellfires is that, like, they feel a little bit like egg on my face because it's like you and your opponent have the same pieces. So it's like if my chain's not coming out fast enough, it's just like a skill issue. That's what it feels like.
Beautiful. Gorgeous. Magnificent.
Here it comes. Score.
Pink's gonna be taking her first win of this set,
Ever any doubt?
which we all love to see. You know, we're all Pink fans in the chat. I do need someone to answer if this is a safe space, though, because I have a hot take.
Now then. How interesting. Now then. How interesting. Beautiful.
Yeah, these three chain harassments are not being particularly kind to Pink.
How interesting. Beautiful. Now then.
Someone owes me an
I give you the gold pass,
Brevity was my ally.
even the diamond pass. Alright, as for, a pay-to-win Puyo game, where you pay money to get preferential colors, did you mean Puyo Quest?
How interesting. Beautiful. Gorgeous.
Listen,
Here it comes.
that I see that lonely little blue piece in the corner there, and I know that with like a little bit of forethought, it could have been an all clear. And I say Mal's got to go to all clear, missing jail for that. I do like that Pink waited for that damage to hit,
How interesting.
lifted up those reds in order to counter with that. So we're seeing the aftermath of that chain. We're like 2 chains out of that.
Here it comes.
Now
It's a
then.
big 3 chain,
How interesting.
but keep. We got these moments where like Pink kind of slows down, and it's like, okay, watch, but you gotta build, because you never really know. And so like in moments like that, where like, you know, Pink could just be building a follow-up chain. It's like, these are big attacks, but you don't know what your opponent has until
Was there ever any
they set it off. Right? I mean, I guess you could know if you were like a super genius who could look at a board and tell you how much damage it does, but like, I'm not that, so... And I sure hope nobody, like, in real life is, either. Okay, I'm thinking yellow on top of the purples and then red on top of the yellow. We're thinking the same thing! Oh my god, we're literally twinsies! Okay, main chain from Pink, main chain from Mal. So we're just going to see whose is longer. Not quite a tail from Mal, but we're getting a 9 from Pink as well.
Was there ever any doubt?
Momoken, okay, but when you watch Momoken be playing fast as hell. Was it supposed to be first to 9? This is losers finals. I'm looking at it, and it says first to 7 wins. So that's what we're doing.
Now then.
Mal having a very, very neat chain. Like, workshopping some... a tail? There? Is that what we're doing?
How interesting. Beautiful.
Unfortunately, all of that dilly-dallying cuts the purples.
Was there ever any doubt?
Now then. How interesting. Beautiful.
Okay. We're going for some very aggressive strategies in order to close out the
Now
point.
then.
And
Someone owes me
Pink
an
couldn't-
apology.
Gravity was my ally.
See, I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it, Mauricio, because I felt like if I said it, she would drop a game. And now look at what happened. Where's our GOAT? 3rd place. 4th place. Tragic day. Tragic day for Pink fans everywhere. Okay, I hope I'm not putting on too much pressure.